The Bengals have made a new free agency addition, already adding him to the 53-man roster. We will talk about that up next here on No Buts About It. What's up, everyone? It is Josh Butts here from No Buts About It. And if you have not heard, the Bengals have signed a new defensive tackle, a much needed addition on that defensive line in that defensive tackle room after BJ Hill and Sheldon Rankins both got hurt against the Kansas City Chiefs. Neither one of them have been put on IR. We don't know if they'll be out for a long time. Maybe they'll be back Monday. Things aren't super clear there, but as we all know, we have not seen a ton of production from that defensive line room. And it's not like they don't have the guys. It's just Miles Murphy's been injured. Cedric Johnson has had issues, hasn't been activated. I'd love to see him. I'm excited about him. Chris Jenkins has been injured, second-round pick defensive tackle. McKinley Jackson has been injured, another guy who is expected to make a huge impact, but we haven't seen a lot from him. And right now we're stuck with Zach Carter and Jay Tufele, who both had a 0% pass rush win rate against the Kansas City Chiefs. So overall, not very promising on the defensive line, and running backs continue to have a day against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. However, the Bengals have looked to put a stop to that. They are bringing in free agent Lawrence Guy, who most recently played with the New England Patriots. He was drafted in 2011 by the Green Bay Packers, has also played with the Indianapolis Colts, and I believe had some time with the Baltimore Ravens. So what are our expectations for Lawrence Guy? So ultimately, what the Bengals need to do is replace DJ Reader. Not an easy task. Three things that DJ Reader did very well, where he was a leader on the defensive line. First and foremost, he was a leader in that room. He was a great player to have in the locker room, and he was arguably one of the biggest, if not the best, free agency signing that has happened in the Zach Taylor era of the Cincinnati Bengals. Something else DJ Reader did very well was stop the run. And he wasn't a huge sack production machine at the defensive tackle position, but he was a run stopper. He was a guy who would stand there and he would challenge offensive linemen, keep them from opening up gaps for running backs. And if running backs did make it to him, he would stop them. He also was able to put pressure on the quarterback. And so that's what we need out of Lawrence Guy. We need those things to occur. Or if Lawrence Guy isn't able to do that, we need someone else to step up who can. So let's kind of look at Lawrence Guy as a player, as a prospect. What have we seen from him in the past? Well, what we know about Lawrence Guy is that he is going to be 35 years old this upcoming season. Like I said, he's been in the league for a long time. He has a ton of experience. He has a veteran presence. Something important is that he has been on championship teams before. He knows what being in a Super Bowl winning locker room is like, and he knows how to get there. That is very important for the Cincinnati Bengals to have if they are expecting guys like Chris Jenkins, McKinley Jackson, Cedric Johnson to come in and be those game-changing starters, to be the future of this defensive line. And we need that because right now it's really only Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard, and neither of them are defensive tackles. They're both defensive ends, and we need someone who is going to stand in that defensive tackle room with McKinley Jackson and Chris Jenkins and say, hey, here's how to do it. Here's how you win these matchups. Here's how you take on double teams. That's what Lawrence Guy is able to do. That's what I'm hoping he brings to the table. I don't need Lawrence Guy to be a long-term solution. I don't need him to even go out there and just be a game wrecker and suddenly become Aaron Donald or Dexter Lawrence or someone like that. I need him to recognize that this is a temporary position for him as a starter, and that when these other guys are healthy, I need him to be willing to help coach up these upcoming players, these younger guys, and be willing to help them learn so that we can form a championship team here on the Bengals, and so that we can get that run stop solidified for the next few seasons. And Lawrence Guy knows how to do those things. He has a history of doing these things. I mean, just look at a few of these plays here. This is all from last season. So you've got the Eagles, who had a decent run game last season. Number 93 there, that's Lawrence Guy. He's stopping Cowboys. Not a great run game last season, but Tony Pollard is definitely decent. Saints, Alvin Kamara, strong running back, having a phenomenal season. I mean, there is a ton of promise here with Lawrence Guy as a temporary solution for the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's look at his overall PFF grades as the seasons have gone on. So his defensive grades have clearly, he's gotten worse as he's aged. Starting really in 2021, we see a significant shift from the 2021 to the 2022 season, from a 62.5 down to a 53.5, and then another jump, 45.5. Not great, not promising. But what I do want you to look at is his snap counts. He has remained around 500 snap counts since, say, 2015 when he was in Baltimore. So for a very long time, he has stayed very healthy, been a very trustworthy player that you're going to have on the field. His longevity is important, and that is something that the Bengals need right now. Now, of course, there are always going to be concerns with bringing in an older player. Injuries can occur. But from what we have seen of Lawrence Guy, he is consistent in not getting injured. And if he is, he plays through that injury. So that at this point, the Bengals are kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel and will take what we can get. I am hoping that we do see an improvement from 45.5. I think 60 PFF grade is the kind of average starter grade. So I'd at least like to see him up closer to that. Again, I'm not looking for elite. If he goes above and beyond, that's great. But that's not what I'm expecting here. The Bengals didn't lose a whole lot to get Lawrence Guy into the 53-man roster. They just released KJ Henry, who I don't know if he'd even seen the field. And then they also removed Cedric Jackson from the practice squad. I'm not sure if that's related or not, or what their plans are. But overall, like, this isn't some monumentous move for the Bengals. The Bengals just need to let Lawrence Guy do his thing, stand in his place, but also make sure that they know, or they should be telling him, hey, we have guys that we expect to be the future in this room. And that is what we need you to help us with. We need you to help us get these guys ready. And so they really should be saying the same thing with Von Bell in the DB room. Von Bell's great. I love Von Bell. But I do not understand why Von Bell is starting over Jordan Battle, or at least as much as he is, because Jordan Battle is the future of that team, not Von Bell. And the Bengals need to do the same thing on the defensive line and just say, hey, once Chris Jenkins is healthy, Lawrence, your snaps may be cut back. Or once McKinley Jackson is healthy, hey, Lawrence, your snaps may be cut back. And who knows what's going to go on with Sheldon Rankins and B.J. Hill. B.J. Hill's a free agent next year, I believe. And Sheldon Rankins is only on a 2-year contract. So I don't know what Lawrence Guy's contract looks like, but these veterans need to be getting these younger guys ready as part of the team. And that needs to be the ultimate goal for the Cincinnati Bengals in the defensive tackle room. Now, of course, if you're like me, you're still holding out for the Bengals to trade for Dexter Lawrence, who was just extended by the New York Giants, but the Giants are awful. So that's my ultimate dream. And if that happens, you will see one of the happiest people in the world on this YouTube channel. But if this video helped you kind of understand what the Bengals' expectations should be for Lawrence Guy Sr., I'd appreciate a subscription. Let me know what you think the Bengals' expectations for Lawrence Guy should be down in the comments. And until next time, go do something nice for someone.